Hello and welcome. I am the Scraptastic crocheter and my name is Amanda. And today I have some works in progress, what I'm working on right now. I have some plans that I want to talk about, what I'm going to be starting on next. Some of these projects are more or less almost finished, so I need to pick something new up soon. And also, yeah, just want to talk a little bit of crochet. I'm gonna start with this gorgeousness here, and this is a Kría Shawl, a pattern designed by Tina, our Icelandic crochet goddess. I used the Sultan cakes, the Pastello. I did have 3 of the cakes in this color, and you might have already seen what I did with the other 2. I made a baby blanket, and when I was done with that baby blanket, I did have this one cake left, but I also had 2 small balls. This is gonna be used later on here, is my plan, to incorporate a little bit, and I used the lighter one to make just a little fun detail here. Whatever's left here is the exact same color as the rest of the cake, so I will be using that at the end if I need to. Something that I want to just, give you a little tip when you're working with different kinds of yarn, and just like here I did a little row here. Instead of cutting my yarns, because I wasn't sure if I would like this detailing here, and something I like even less is cutting yarn and untangling or frogging, and then realizing that I have even shorter or smaller balls than these that I have here, only because I already cut it from, well, I'm making a mess here. I'm gonna have to pay for that later. But yeah, we'll see. So instead of having even smaller balls, when I incorporate these ones here, I don't cut. So what I have left in between, because it's only one row and then I changed the color again, so I did just use the first few stitches and go over both of the strands of yarn here, so I get a neater edge and it's easier to hide sewing them in later. But I have enough here so I can cut in the middle of this piece, and I have enough to use when I sew in on this side, and I have enough for sewing in on this side. And I've used this method all the way through here, so when I am finished, when I'm totally finished, that's when I'm gonna be cutting the yarns off, because I might not like the design when I'm finished, so I might want to just frog everything, and then I will just still have I have 2 small balls and this big cake, and they will still be easy to manage, not just whatever I used on this row and whatever I used on this row. That will be very, very small balls, and I just don't like very much working with very small balls like that, because it's hard to know, like, is it gonna be enough for one row. If I decided to just use whatever is on one of these rows, I know in this pattern it's not going to be enough to make a row further down, because I've been increasing and increasing and increasing, so more is needed on every row. But maybe it would be enough to make something on a smaller row, but still sometimes it's hard to eyeball how far you're gonna get. So that's just how I work on this. I know it's not to the point where I can actually like spread it out and fold it out, since these strands that I left is too short for it to be like folded out in its full glory. But I can live with that. That's the only downside in doing what I've been doing here. So maybe this is something that would work for you. Maybe it's not. Just, you know, a little idea of what you can do. And yeah, now I made a mess in there, but I'll deal with it when I continue. So yeah, this is the Kría Shawl, and yeah, you can see that the color changes of this Pastello, Sultan Pastello Grape. Dark colors and then the extra from the lights, and then it will go down to the light, and I will add in the pops of dark at the end somewhere. So that is that one ongoing project. You might have seen this one. It has been here before. It's my Danish virus. Yeah, it's a virus shawl in the Nation Cakes colorway Denmark. And I have more or less finished this. The thing is, I have about this much left. I don't know how much this is, but I have a fair bit left. I know I can do at least a few rows with this. Doubt I will be able to get a full repeat, or like a full set of repeats. So that's why I've stopped for now, contemplating on what to do next. Because I feel like maybe some type of border, but when I've been looking at these virus shawls, it feels like most of them don't really have a border. But I have this much left, and I might yarn chicken it out and see if I can manage to get another repeat. I don't know. But yeah, I'm sitting debating on it, and we will see what I will end up with. So far it's really gorgeous. Like, maybe I can squeeze another repeat out of it. Maybe I'm just that big of a chicken. I don't know. Because there's a lot of red on top. So if it's that much left, then maybe I should be able to. We'll see, we'll see. But that's how far she has come. Now, I hope you'll be able to see this, because I have a dark background. So maybe not the best background. You'll be able to see these. I know that for sure. We have a Lost Soul shawl pattern by Fiber Spider. Or maybe not, the pattern is by Fiber Spider. I know he did a video tutorial, and I know that he credits the original writer of the pattern. But I really love these swirly parts, like framing the skeletons, or scared little faces. It's gonna be fun to block this, because now they're all bunched up, but when you open them up, they really scream. So it's gonna be fun to see that. I should mention, both of the other shawls are made in 3.5mm crochet hooks. This one I am using a 3mm crochet hook, but it's the same type of yarn. It's a Hobbii Sultan, and this is a shadow cake in black and gray. So I just wanted more of a, you know, it's a fairly lacy style pattern anyway with all of these details. So I wanted it a little bit more held together, in, you know, like not having too much gapy foreheads, or making these chains in the chain spaces look nice. So I used a 3mm just because I figured that would give a more clean look, but we'll see. I have seen people using 4mm crochet hooks in this exact pattern with this type of yarn, or with this exact Sultan yarn. So I know it's possible. I just don't know how it would work with my tension and my style. But it's really nice. Like you see here, it's the really light gray for quite a big chunk. and then there's a light or a darker gray that's been mixed in, and here you can see that the light gray has ended, but it starts with a darker gray in there, but it's still not the black. So we have light gray, darker gray, and even darker gray, and then we're getting to the black. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works out. It really looks cool right now. Something that is kind of funny is that these have a lighter lower jaw. So yeah, it kind of feels a bit abrupt maybe with the color change that happened there. Here we have color changes going more in the forehead area. Here's lighter, but it's still yeah, it's still not as like intense as this difference when the lighter gray is just out and the darker gray starts. But I still have some to go on this one. So this is my works in progress, what I'm working on now. And of course also the more or less finished shawl, the virus. So you have probably seen these if you have seen my unboxing of my latest mystery cakes. And I did get 6 of these in my 6 mystery cake bags. So out of the 6 mystery cake bags, I did get 1 in each. So what is my plan? Well, my plan is for now, I think I'm only going to be using 2. I think it's going to be enough, but I don't know. I did get 3 out, so I have them readily available. I'm going to put them in my whip basket, and this is going to be turned into a baby blanket. I do have a couple of ideas on how I'm going to do it. I'm not sure yet, because I'm not really a fan of going dark to light to dark, and then, you know, if I would be putting them each after each other, I have dark, light, dark, dark, light, dark, and I think that's going to be quite a lot of darks in places I might not want them. I don't know. My plan is to unwind these cakes, or like basically cut them apart, and I think that I'm gonna chunk up all the yellow, and then because these, I'll show you on the other one. I'll get Denmark back here. You can see here that first we have the solid color, and then we get it transitioned into 1 strand of white, and then we have 2 strands of white, 3 strands of white, and then ultimately 4 strands of the white before it goes into 3 strands of white, 2 strands of white, and 1 strand of white, and then we're back into the reds. So I think I'm gonna cut it down so that I have all the yellow in one ball, and then I have 1 strand of blue and 3 strands of yellow in a ball, and then 2 strands of each in a ball, you know, so that I cut them up in the sections that they are. I'm probably gonna start with all the yellow because there is so much more blue. So I figured if I go starting with the blue, it's gonna be very, very much blue before I actually start getting any yellow, and that might look weird. And I think since I do have smaller amounts of yellow, it would probably look better to just do a center yellow and then fade it out to the blue, so that I would get one big gradient. I think that is what is gonna look best. I did have one, like I did play with the thought of just starting with one in the middle, use it up, and then start with the next and use it up. But I think that it's gonna be too much of the, like, I can't really control the colors, and there's a lot of blue. So is the yellow gonna be enough if I do it like that? Like, not enough as in, I know it's gonna show. You can tell here it does show, but I'm more thinking about, like, is it gonna be disappearing or not be as visible? And how would it look in a baby blanket? Like, maybe this is not the typical baby blanket colors either, but we are, I am, and also the family that will be receiving this for their newborn, we're all from Sweden, and I think it's okay to sometimes be a bit patriotic. I don't see that's a problem. So I don't see any really big reasons to why I shouldn't use the Swedish colors. It's a baby boy. Blue works for a baby boy. It doesn't necessarily have to be pastel blue, my opinion. And I could go and order more yarn and make a different type of blanket, but I have these and I don't really know what else to do with them at this point. Like, I did get 6. I could make a really big blanket, but now I'm thinking a really cute baby blanket and color controlling it, and then maybe a shawl or 2 or 4 with the rest of these cakes. I don't know, but if I don't like the baby blanket, then of course I can go and buy other yarns and make another baby blanket, and then I have it for maybe a display piece. I am planning on sometime in some future, probably far away, to hopefully have enough things made that I feel like I can participate in, like some type of fair or market, and, you know, have a booth and try and sell some of the items I have made, and maybe it will be an interesting piece to talk about, or, you know, make someone interested in what I do. They might not like the particular piece, but they might want to, you know, order something different. So it's not going to be a loss if I don't like it enough to give it to who I'm planning to give it to. That's for sure. So I'm gonna leave the Sweden cakes at that, and I'm gonna talk about another baby blanket, and I'm gonna try and not throw my yarns over here. If you have been here from way back when, you might have seen these ones. I did a review on these, and I have used another 3 of these cakes, different colorway. So I can do like that, maybe. Will you stay like that? And what do we have here? Maybe you'll see there. And I'm just gonna read off the last one. So, Sheepy Swirls. And this is a cotton acrylic blend. And this is 100 grams. No, this is 215 to 225 grams, so it's about 1,000 meters. They recommend 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hooks. So this is a similar thickness to the Sultan cakes that I've been using. So the only difference is that this contains acrylic 40%, and these are also twisted instead of the 4 strands only held together, not twisted together. Other than that, it's pretty much the same thickness and such. We have Raspberry Rocky Roads, and yeah, color 752. My plan with these, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna use all 3 since this is more yardage or meter compared to these ones. These are only 800 meters and this is 1000 meters. And this is 200 grams and this is like 200 and plus. I'm gonna be starting out on the edges on these ones, and I'm gonna color control. So I'm gonna have one big chunk of pink in the middle, and then it's gonna be fading out, and I'm gonna do a baby blanket, and it's gonna be lovely, gorgeous. I do have easy start-esque here. We have a little center pointing out. Same on these ones, doesn't matter. Maybe on the last one, if I do a shawl out of the last one and a baby blanket out of these, I might start in the center. We'll see. But I am probably gonna start this. I don't know if I'm gonna start this one today or this one. I think it's gonna take me a little bit to deal with the yarn to wind it up on something so that this is easier to handle. As you can tell, I have big plans for things at the moment whatsoever. 2 baby blankets, maybe a shawl or something out of that one, and then I already have all the projects that I just showed you. So it's not like I don't have anything to do. I have plenty to do. I probably have more that I want to do than I have time doing it. And then of course, you know, you need to cook and clean and that kind of fun stuff as well, on top of everything. So I don't see how I'm gonna be having time for everything. I know that I will have more time coming in the next few weeks here. I will probably have very limited time, if any, to be able to make any videos. I will be busy for basically 2 weeks straight, going from doctor's appointment to doctor's appointment with my oldest. It's basically 2 weeks of intense yeah, we're gonna be seeing doctors, therapists, physiotherapists, psychologists. Yeah, I don't even know half of it, but it's like to map out, like he gets to see all of these doctors basically at once, or like intensely over a 2-week period of time, and they will see if or what might be wrong, because he already has a ADHD diagnosis, but now we are digging deeper to see if there's, I don't know, if or what else might be there. And I will be spending time sitting outside, a lot of time, because he's old enough to be there by himself, or like to see all these people, but I need to be there just in case. And also the travels to and from, which is about an hour one way by bus. So 2 hours on the bus and all the time spent there. I will be definitely able to crochet quite a lot during these 2 next weeks. So I don't see any reasons to not have plans. I'm gonna have to really think about how I'm gonna be transporting everything. But I'm not gonna take more than I can handle, and I think 2 cakes like this is definitely doable to transport for a few days. And who knows, I might be finishing this blanket in a week as well. I did the last blanket in a week. Maybe it's gonna be even faster because I will have more time than I have had. So yeah, I guess it's good that I have ideas on what to do, since the time is coming my way. I think this one is going to be more difficult to transport around unless I find a good way to cut these up in transport-esque size. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be balls or if I'm going to, I don't know, roll it up on toilet, you know, the middle of a toilet paper roll. Maybe it's a toilet paper roll. Yeah, you know, the harder part in the middle. Maybe that can work, but I don't know how well that would be in transport back and forth. So we'll see. So yeah, plants, baby blankets, works in progress, future plans. Yes, I think that this was what I had intended to share with you right now, and I'm very excited and very happy about what I have been working on up till now. The Kría Shawl, the minty one, I kinda wasn't planning on actually starting that yet. This one. Only because I already had the other ones while I was working on them, or I had already started the, well, more or less I hadn't finished the virus shawl yet. And then I started on the skeletons or skulls or what you prefer to call them, and realized that dark gray yarn in the middle of the night in a not so well lit living room in front of the TV was not the best way to go. So I started this one as my in the middle of the night crocheting in the dark type of project, because this is basically just V-stitches, and it's really easy to see what I'm doing, because this is not actually worked in chain spaces. It's worked, or not in the stitches, or not, there's no, you can see here's double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, double crochets. There's no chains or anything. You work in between the stitches, so the holes are quite large, and even in the holes that I'd normally work, I could definitely go in them, because this is a, you know, lighter yarns and a more flowy type of, it's more see-through or like mesh type of pattern. And the 3.5mm crochet hook makes these, the holes on top of the double crochets, actually pretty easy to spot. But going in between the stitches, it's an even bigger gaping hole. Oops. But yeah, so this is easier to see in the dark, or more or less I can feel it a little bit what I'm doing, if I really need to. Usually the TV is not that dark, and the way I sit, I actually have the TV, when I hold it up a little bit, I see the TV light go through the hole, so I don't really necessarily need to have too much lighting going on. Not the way I can do the Lost Soul shawl. Definitely need better lighting for that. So that's what I work on during days, or, you know, when the light is good, and when we have to dim the lights for, you know, kids to get more tired and want to go to bed and such. This has been my go-to. That's the only reason basically that I have more projects going at the same time. Well, and the fact that I had a hard time deciding on what to do. You know, sticking to one thing isn't always the way I go, but I do occasionally end up only working on one thing at a time because I have a deadline, or it's just very, very fun and I can't put it down. So then I just want to finish it before I pick something else up. So yeah, I don't think I've had this many works in progress that I've been showing off lately, because I've been, you know, more or less showing the same thing in multiple videos, baby blankets and just progress reports, more than showing you new stuff. And as you can tell, there's more baby blankets coming, and of course these shawls are not going to be the last shawls I make. I still have plenty of these cakes left. I did have 24 of the cakes in this last order, but I had an order of 4 cakes before that. I did use 2 of them up, so I do still have 2 of those cakes left. And then I have 1 cake left from my birthday haul, which was from back in February. So I haven't used all of that. And these, I don't remember when I got these, but I did talk about them in a video together with 3 more same brand Whirl cakes, but different colors. Or, well, there was 3 in this colorway and 3 in another colorway. So, but I've used those up, and you might have seen videos of how the baby blankets turn out from that. I did 2 baby blankets, starting in the middle on one, and then when I got to the end I started on the outside and went back in, but I stopped halfway in, and the last piece of that I used that up, going from the outside towards the inside, so that I on that piece would then continue from the inside and work out. So 2 separate pieces, 2 very different results. Really gorgeous. Probably have them somewhere, because yeah, they are hidden in here. I have not gifted them or such as of yet, because I did have plans for who I was gonna gift that to, but then I decided to do something else for someone. So yeah, my plans doesn't always pan out the way I expect them to, or, you know, when I plan them, I plan for one thing and then something else happens, and that's life. So I hope you had any enjoyment of watching this. Maybe you thought that this is a clever idea, if you don't like small pieces of yarn hanging about, only leaving enough in between here so that you can cut it safely and have enough to tuck away the ends in a way that you see fit, enough for you, and then yeah, go at it. But as I said, if I don't like it, which yeah, now when it's come this far, I like it, I could just cut them, but I could have just said that nope, it's not my style, rivet and be done with it. Then I'm really happy I didn't cut it. Also, a very smart way, maybe if you're not able to bring a scissor to where you're at, or if you forgot your scissor and you want to work with different colors, then you can just do like this, and then you cut it at a later time when you have your scissor available to you. I know that there's always the discussion on like crocheting on airplanes. Are you allowed or you're not allowed to bring scissors or crochet hooks or knitting needles, or, you know, anything like that. And for those that doesn't have scissors small enough for these yarn cutters and other fancy stuff, then you can do this, and then when you land, you cut them, and you still get the great result you wanted without having to compromise anything. So yeah, thank you very, very much if you have seen this video this far, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please leave a comment or just like this video. Share it if you feel like you want to. If there was anything in here you want to share with someone, then please go ahead. And I hope to see you back here again soon. I also hope that I will have more time talking about the yarns and, you know, crocheting and stuff in the future, even though I know that I will have plenty of things to do in the coming weeks. But definitely I will have something to show you when I get back, that's for sure. And I just hope that it's something pretty, because, you know, sometimes you don't get the result you want, and that's fine. As always, I cannot stay away from just stroking the yarns, and, you know, this texture is so lovely. It's really, really gorgeous. And I also love how the colors are slowly fading from dark to light. It's gonna be gorgeous. And I really, really like these pops of colors that I decided to put in here. I had a little hard time deciding on how I was gonna use these leftovers. If I was just gonna like put them in to make it bigger and like blend it in with the colors that they are, because this darker green here, it does have one strand of light and 3 strands of the dark, so it's not actually like just fully dark. It is the first part of transition. So I could have cut the yarn somewhere here and just put this in, and probably gotten a couple of extra rows in here in the beginning, but I figured, why not use it as a detail? It's more fun, and details can be, you know, it can be uplifting, or so. Yeah, I just keep rambling. I'm gonna continue and stroke my yarn here for a bit, but I will do that without you having to watch it, and then I'm gonna start working on finishing stuff and starting stuff. Probably gonna get the ball winder out and do something about this so that I have an idea about how much of each color I have, like seeing how big these balls cakes turns out, and see if what I imagine the amount of yellow, you know, it just feels like it's about a third. But then we also have these, you know, the transitioning pieces where there's both blue and yellow. It's hard to tell how much the yellow actually is, but I think it's going to be gorgeous if I do start with a just yellow center and work it out. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, and I see you soon, hopefully. Thank you, and bye bye.